Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be going over Treyarch commenting on weapon XP and zombies, the Golden Viper camo being a reused asset from Black Ops 4, a fix being scheduled for the Trapper Challenge in zombies, some Season 1 leaks, and a Reddit user doing some math. So on November 30th, Treyarch put out a tweet that stated that they had released an update that tuned the weapon XP to be higher than they were at launch. That includes both multiplayer and zombies. In a reply to that tweet, they also claimed that they had addressed an issue that was causing lower than targeted weapon XP in solo matches and in later rounds of zombies. From my experience so far since the 30th, solo XP still seems to be pretty slow and an extreme grind. Currently the best way to level the guns in zombies is to join a public game with randoms or have a private match with friends. Hopefully soon Treyarch releases another update that addresses this issue. The eternal solo grind for Dark Aether camo continues, unless you took advantage of how broken it was to level guns about a week ago on the first day of the Double XP event leveled everything in 13 minutes or whatever. In a tweet from user JRizzo YouTube on Twitter, he says, "Fun fact, the Golden Viper camo in Cold War Zombies is just a reused texture from one of the Recon's operator skins in Black Ops 4. And then he provides some screenshots, backing up his claim. I think that assets getting reused in most games is not really a bad thing as long as it's reused creatively. I do think, however, that the Golden Viper camo is a little lackluster, but not because it's a reused asset. It's just a little disappointing for me. It's not as flashy as the Golden camo for multiplayer, but luckily the Dark Aether camo makes up for the disappointing Viper camo. Alright, real quick, many of you know that the Trapper Challenge has been broken for quite some time, I think since release. It's been stuck at 255 out of 500, even for myself. Treyarch released on their Trello page saying that the fix will be scheduled and released in a future major update and not via an in-game settings update. This isn't really huge news or anything. It just kind of, finally once this gets released, you'll be able to finish this challenge to get the calling card and everything associated with it. On to the big news with the Season 1 leaks. From this screenshot, we can see there's going to be more multiplayer modes and maps. There's going to be new weapons, new zombies modes, 2v2 gunfight returns, and Warzone content. So I'm pretty excited to see what new weapons they'll bring out and to be able to use them in these zombies for ages if the XP isn't fixed by then. A nighttime Christmas Nuketown map was also leaked. Thematic holiday recreations are always nice to see as it adds a bit of flair into the game, especially the maps that have been remade 31 times. The raid map from Black Ops 2 has also been released to return to Cold War in a future update. Still not sure whether or not this is coming in Season 1 or in a later update. Like I said previously, it's nice to see other maps being remade and brought back. I don't particularly mind maps from previous CODs being remade and brought to the newer titles. However, it does get a little repetitive when the same handful of maps get remade, i.e. Nuketown. 5 new maps were also leaked in a screenshot on Twitter from the user @BlackOpsLeaks, but the tweet has since been removed due to DMCA threats from Activision. Nobody could have seen this coming. We do still have some info on the upcoming maps, however. One of the maps seems to take place on the set of a small game show, presumably a map for the leaked upcoming return of 2v2 gunfight. The others are Berlin Tunnels, a rocket test facility, potentially another remake of Launch from Black Ops 1, a large mall, and in the KGB headquarters. Additionally in the leaks, there were a large amount of cosmetic bundles leaked for release in Season 1. These include a Xenia Operator bundle, mint condition AK-74U Mastercraft bundle, Mistletoe Meetup bundle, and my favorite, an Anime Assassin bundle, along with many others. Nobody knows when cosmetic bundles will take over the world, but hopefully it's soon. Reddit user SwearFreeGamer calculated the rough maximum damage for each gun in zombies, including Pack-a-Punch and Rarity tier. We're going to quickly go over the best weapon in each category for zombies, excluding the wonder weapons, launchers, and melee weapon. These suggestions could also apply to multiplayer as well, because the guns are still, roughly the same. As a reminder, all these numbers were taken without any attachments on the weapons. Also, tier upgrades and Pack-a-Punch upgrades aren't a consistent multiplier across all guns. Starting off with the ARs, we have the FFAR-1 with 848 base damage at tier 5 rarity and 3 times Pack-a-Punch. This high rate of fire AR helps compensate for the lower damage, and it also has an easily controllable recoil pattern. For the SMGs, we have the KSP-45 at 1600 base damage at T5 rarity and 3 times Pack-a-Punch. The high damage of this SMG helps to balance out the burst fire and odd recoil pattern of this weapon. Oddly enough, the KSP-45 is actually one of the highest DPS guns overall in zombies. For For the tactical rifles, we have the all-powerful M16 at 1,920 damage at T5 rarity and 3 times pack-a-punch. We can see that it seems like the M16 has a recent damage buff at the expense of a headshot multiplier nerf. The M16 is still the highest DPS tactical rifle and probably the highest DPS gun in zombies, excluding the wonder weapons. While the M16 is a burst fire rifle, the time between bursts is very short and the burst itself is very fast, especially if you add the attachments that increase the fire rate, making the M16 feel like a very powerful weapon in zombies. For the LMGs, we have the Stoner 63 at 1,344 base damage. Now you might be noticing a trend at this point. Even with less damage per bullet than the M60 because of the Stoner's fast rate of fire, its DPS is much higher. It seems that the weapons with a higher damage per bullet do much better early on than the faster firing weapons do, but this quickly falls off as the rounds progress and the zombies have much more HP, and it's more important for the gun to have a faster fire rate and headshot multiplier than it is to have a high damage per bullet. Now, if you've gotten lost and are using a sniper rifle in zombies, the M82 is the go-to sniper rifle with 3,520 base damage at T5 rarity and 3 times pack-a-punch. The M82 is able to carry itself into the lead with a DPS of over 19,000 by utilizing its much faster fire rate, which is triple that of the Pellington and LW3. The pistols and shotguns both follow a similar pattern that the rest of the guns follow. For the pistols, we have the Diamatti with 960 base damage at T5 rarity and 3 times pack-a-punch. This 3-round burst fire pistol crushes its competition with its incredibly high rate of fire and headshot multiplier. It even beats most other guns in other categories because of this. The only downside to this otherwise outstanding pistol is because of its high rate of fire at 1,111 rounds per minute, it absolutely burns through its measly 15-round magazine. You can somewhat compensate for this by leveling it and equipping it with a higher capacity magazine. And last but not least, for the shotguns, we have the Gallo SA-12 at 1,472 base damage at T5 rarity and 3x pack-a-punch. There's not much to say about this shotgun that hasn't previously been said about the other guns mentioned. It has less damage per bullet and headshot multiplier than the Hauer 77, but due to its higher rate of fire, its DPS in the later rounds outscales the Hauer. Alright everybody, that's the end of this video. If you like the video, and be sure to comment down below telling me which guns you would like to see released in the future for Black Ops Cold War. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.